Welcome to the Soul Traveler podcast. I'm your host, Gunleen, a life coach, rapid transformational therapist, ancestral healer, psychic medium, intuitive channel, and writer. And in this podcast, I share the lessons and wisdom gleaned from my personal journey of healing, self-discovery, and spirituality. In this episode, we're talking about the difference between your higher self, your ego, and your inner child. Your higher self is your greater self. It is the fully realized you who has evolved from all challenges, lessons, karma throughout its many lifetimes. It has taken everything it has learned and put it together into higher wisdom. Your higher self knows where you've been, where you are, and where you're going in the grand plan of your soul's evolution. They act as a source of wisdom and guidance, helping you avoid pitfalls and take on soul-aligned opportunities in your human life. They know what you're meant to be doing in this life, who you're meant to be with, and who you're supposed to become through the life experiences you have. The ego is the survival part of you that is designed to keep you safe in a human body, so you are not physically injured or ostracized socially. The ego is always going to be part of you. We want it to be part of you so it can keep you alive. So there really is no wisdom in trying to get rid of your ego, as is popularly promoted in many spiritual communities. There is wisdom, however, in understanding the ways in which your ego tries to protect you so you can learn to work with it. The ego is concerned with perception. It wants you to appear a certain way to guard you against rejection from other people, because rejection is painful. Ego can show up as people-pleasing, overgiving, diminishing yourself, inflating yourself. Basically, anytime you are putting on a mask to be perceived in a certain way, you are coming from ego. Again, this is not a bad thing. The ego is designed to protect us in a society where there is uncertainty and risk of emotional and physical danger. As you ascend into your higher self, you begin seeing the ways in which ego has shown up in your life. You begin noticing that it's primarily fear-driven. A wonderful acronym that I personally like for the word fear is feel everything and rise. When you allow yourself to fully feel the fears your ego is bringing up, you have the opportunity of transcending them. On the contrary, if you are in constant avoidance of your fears, your ego will try harder and harder to prevent them from happening, creating a home of misery within your mind. Seeing the wisdom in your ego is a powerful step forward in your journey of growth and evolution. If you're curious to learn more about the ego and how it factors into enlightenment, check out my blog post called The Illusion of Attaining Enlightenment at my website, thedivinerose.com. Here are some differences between the ego and the higher self. Your ego likes to control, whereas your higher self goes with the flow and what is in alignment. Your ego doubts while your higher self trusts. Your ego hesitates out of fear of what other people will think. Your higher self honors its own sovereignty. Your ego wants to be safe and fit in. Your higher self knows that it already belongs and is here to live out her purpose in a way that is authentic to her. Ego rushes, higher self trusts divine timing. Ego seeks external approval, higher self validates self internally. Your ego wants to know everything versus your higher self already knows that she is everything. Your ego fears and thinks about what-if scenarios. Your higher self remains calm and exists in an infinite space of knowing that all is well. Your ego is anxious. Your higher self is confident. Finally, we have the inner child. The inner child is an integral part of your being. It is coherent with the divine child. Everything in the cosmos has a parent-child structure to it. When you surrender to the higher forces guiding you, you learn to relax into your divine inner child. This is the part of you that is carefree, joyful, creative, and has limitless dreams for you and your potential. This is the part of you that likes to feel good just for the sake of feeling good. It doesn't need rationale or logic. When in a healed state, your inner child lives and breathes joy. Your inner child is impacted by the upbringing you have during your childhood, and the traumas and unmet needs that it carries continue to manifest in your subsequent relationships. The inner child is so important to get to know and nurture within yourself so you can experience life in a whole, integrated, and joyful way. If you want to learn more about the inner child, I recommend listening to the episode called An Introduction to the Inner Child. If you want to reconnect with your inner child, check out the episode called Guided Meditation to Reconnect with Your Inner Child. And if you want a personal one-to-one session with me to work through your inner child's traumas and unmet needs, then click the link in the show notes to book a complimentary consultation. The personalities that your higher self, ego, and inner child carry will be unique for each person. My higher self carries more of a masculine energy, and she's full of wisdom. You cannot mess with her. She sees right through deception. My ego tends to be more polite with some people-pleasing tendencies, and it can also be anxious sometimes. And my inner child is a wellspring of creativity, free-spiritedness, and joy. A handy way of remembering the difference between your higher self, your ego, and your inner child is as follows. Your higher self knows. Your ego seeks to understand, and your inner child loves to play. You've been listening to the Soul Traveler podcast. Until next time, this is Gunleen signing off.